Greetings and salutations, loyal viewers right here on this channel. Today we gotta talk about something that is definitely in the category of bad news, because within the next 10 days I'm going to find out whether or not I'm going to be dragged into a federal court over a copyright dispute by the corporation known as TMZ. Now, this video is in fact sponsored. I know a lot of you will say, Sean, serious videos like this shouldn't be sponsored, but the thing is if I'm gonna end up going to court, I'm gonna need all the money that I could possibly get. I'm saving up to fight for the $200 worth of ad revenue maybe that I would have gotten from this video anyway. So let's roll into the sponsor and then I'll tell you what's going on the other side. It is no secret that many people in the United States of America struggle with weight loss. Look at the obesity statistics, but it's not all of these individual Americans' fault. You see, we have a bit of a genetic pitfall. Every decade, we lose about 4% of our metabolism speed, thus making it ever increasingly more difficult to keep weight off as we get older. This is one of the reasons why I highly recommend Keto with Justice. This powder helps by elevating the number of ketones in your body. It prolongs a fat burning state known as ketosis, thus allowing you to shed some of the weight and counteract your body basically working against you. And the best part about Keto with Justice is that you could try this for 60 days, money back guarantee, and we're selling it for 51% off. Go to ketowithjustice.com, get yourself this powder, try it, better manage your weight, feel better about yourself. It's amazing. ketowithjustice.com. So as many of you guys probably already know, I do commentary on this channel. I react to videos that are out there on the internet.com. Typically they're containing arguments or hot news items or footage of crime-related stuff. And I recently uploaded a video on this channel that was about the Dave Chappelle incident. You know, Dave Chappelle was at the Hollywood Bowl. He was on stage. He got tackled by somebody who is a crazy person that was obsessed with him for about 2 years. And then Dave Chappelle entourage proceeded to hurt this person in significant ways. And during the course of my video discussing this topic, I actually showed footage of Dave Chappelle being tackled from the crowd. Now, I crucially, and this might ultimately end up saving me in a potential legal situation, edited out the tackle in that situation because YouTube's terms of service, you know, they don't like to let you show violence. And I also linked the original video because if you want to watch the full video in its full context, I always recommend you go to the link in the description under where it says sources, and you can watch it unedited. Now, that footage happened to come from the corporation known as TMZ. Now, TMZ is a news agency that really made its name in that they were the first major party to start paying for news. So what they would do is buy up footage from people at events like this at a premium, and then they would upload it on their website. And they believe, or they're under the impression of, them buying up this footage somehow gives them a perpetual license to control wherever it's disseminated in all of its forms forever and ever until the end of time. And in a lot of ways, that is the case. However, there are exemptions to every copyright law, including fair use protections. Now, my video was transformative in nature. It used a portion of the TMZ footage, not the whole portion of the TMZ footage. And since it was a hot news item that everyone in the country was talking about, my video reflected that because over 80% of the original video was actually my commentary. And I also used footage not just from TMZ, but from other organizations in order to highlight the key things that I was referencing in my commentary, because again, the point of my video wasn't to infringe anybody's copyright, it was to comment on what was going on in the news, specifically with this story. However, TMZ obviously disagrees. This is why they auto-ID'd my video at first, and when I appealed, which by the way, this happens multiple times on my channel, I get claimed a lot, I usually appeal, and usually that appeal is overturned almost immediately because my video falls within the confines of fair use, because I do fair use related content. I'm not trying to rip off TMZ. Obviously, my channel is not a market substitute for TMZ. This isn't the actual TMZ warrior, this is the actual justice warrior, and normally companies realize that and they release the claim immediately just after one counter notification. Usually, if you stand up to these people, it only takes one time. However, TMZ counterclaimed me, which caused me to counter that counterclaim, which caused them to strike me, and now I'm in the appeal phase, and I've filed the appeal. I've said my video is in fact fair use. I've said I'm willing to defend myself in a court of law if necessary, because everybody knows it's always a good idea to spend tens of thousands of dollars in order to retain the revenue from a video that probably earned you close to maybe $200 tops. But fundamentally, the issue at hand is not the petty amount of money that I earned from the video, which, by the way, one of my most underperforming videos in recent history, actually a bit of an embarrassment. It was only at around 20,000 views when all this stuff went down. The issue at hand is whether or not TMZ can just monopolize the news. It's whether or not they can take money from creators based on the fact that they have a big brand name and those creators are afraid to face them in a court of law. I don't agree with this. I don't believe in it. I'm not going to stand for it, and that's why I counterclaimed, and that's why I'm willing to fight them in a court of law for my own copyright protections, and secondarily, for your own copyright fair use protections. Yes, you guys come second out there in the world. I come first. I want my $185 or whatever I would have earned from that petty amount of views. Believe me, that's what I'm on board for. That's what I'm in for. But secondarily, I would love to, defend your fair use rights. I would love to say, hey, look, you're protected, and it's okay to make commentary about the news. And I actually have a few things working on my side. First and foremost, obviously the video, like I said earlier, or if I didn't say it earlier, I'm saying it now, is 80% my own commentary. The reason you guys came here was not to watch the TMZ clips that I showed. The reason you guys came here was to watch my video, my commentary, my hot take, my reaction, everything related to me. Obviously, I was also indicating that you guys should go and watch the original video because mine is not a market substitute for the original video. On top of that, fair use protections work a lot better when you're talking about something that's fact-based rather than fiction. So a non-fiction work usually gets more leeway than a fiction-based work. On top of that, it's actually a crime. It's a thing that happened. It is within the public interest, thus me commenting on something within the public interest also factors in to my defense in a potential court proceeding against TMZ. On top of that, it's going to be introduced into evidence once these charges are actually pursued. Now, the district attorney in Los Angeles could let me down. The district attorney in Los Angeles could drop all charges. He's already decided that he's not going to go with the felony charges, which is kind of insane because this guy ran up on the stage with the deadly weapon and went to attack Dave Chappelle. And because of the fact that he's not being charged with a felony, he could also end up suing Dave Chappelle and his entourage for the injuries that he sustained during the course of that attack. Am I to believe that because TMZ paid some money to a guy with cell phone footage, probably how they got the video, that's typically how they do it, that therefore, somehow, in some way, this footage, even if it's talked about during the course of a civil proceeding, is not going to be able to be commented on by anybody out there in the public because TMZ paid for the footage, they stamped their logo all over it, and they claim that they own the story. Again, I don't think so. Don't agree. Don't support it, not with it, can't hang with it, not going to be friends with it, not going to back it, and I think that none of you should support the position that they're putting forward right now. Now, obviously, if this goes that step further, obviously, if I end up getting bogged down in a court battle, then I won't be able to talk about the case so much, but I will give you guys an update if we end up in a situation where I actually have to be summoned to court, so you guys can come out and support me, see me wear a suit, see me go up them courtroom steps, and say, "Yeah, Anna, I didn't do nothing. Your Honor, I'm the most innocent man that ever innocented in the United States of America." These are going to be my defenses, because if I cannot afford a lawyer, I will represent myself in this case, which I'm sure every single actual lawyer on the internet is cringing right now, but I'm joking. I will save up my money, I will pinch my pennies, I'll stop taking my girlfriend out to dinner, just don't tell her that, all to fight TMZ for this $200 or whatever. Honestly, I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to say at this point. I thought of all the people that would end up ultimately suing me for something, it would either be the Young Turks or some organization that I actually do significant responses to. The idea that I might end up spending years of my life battling in a court of law with TMZ over a video that barely cracked 20,000 views is a bit depressing. It's a bit disheartening, but you know, you don't go to war with the armies you chose, you go to war with the armies you have. Okay, that figure of speech did not actually work, so let's just go with something else that is more fitting to this situation. I think the moral of the story is that we should all just be ourselves. No. All joking aside, this situation sucks, and this is definitely a situation that I don't want to be in. I feel like the whole I'm getting sued for copyright thing, let me file a dispute and talk to you guys on the internet.com about it thing has been done to death. It's out of style, and I'm just wearing that old-fashioned trying to look hip for you guys on the internet.com. I actually understand why TMZ would want to protect their copyright. If you hold something and you believe it has value, you don't want other people just taking it and using it without your permission, without paying you. I get all that. I understand it. But the thing is, my video genuinely does not violate copyright, in my opinion. I try really hard to make sure that my work is transformative, and I'm not into this idea that you come to my channel to watch clips of other people's channels. You're obviously coming here for my commentary, which is why the large bulk of that video was, of course, my commentary, because that's what you're here for. That's the reason you watch my video and you didn't go to somebody else's video also talking about the incident. Or maybe you went to everybody else's video. Good on you if you decided to watch all the footage and all the video related to the whole Dave Chappelle incident. But point being, I do believe that I was, in fact, very transformative. Completely transformative. In fact, the most transformative you could ever possibly be when it comes to any footage ever used on the internet.com. And I don't think this claim is valid. And yeah, I'm pretty much going to fight it to the death. I will die before I will give TMZ my $127.49 that I earned off of that video. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like the video, you can show them by leaving a like. You can subscribe for more content. You can follow me on all my social medias. You can support me via the support links in the description box. This has been me talking about being copyright struck. Till next time.